So here we are back to a Sly Cooper theory video. Now this time, I'd like to go over one Cooper in particular, who goes by the name Slytunkhamen, or to be more precise, Slytunkhamen 1. Who is this Cooper? How is he important in the Cooper legacy? Well, before Sanzaru Games arrived, Slytunkhamen 1 was considered the very first Cooper who started the family legacy. But once Sanzaru Games came in, Bob Cooper was considered the very first Cooper who started the thieving. How important is Slytunkhamen? Well, every Cooper basically recorded all of their skills into the Thievius Raccoonus. And since Sly Cooper had the Thievius Raccoonus, he was able to learn all of their skills. Sly learned the shadow technique from Slytunkhamen, which allows him to turn invisible. Okay, after finishing Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, we all know that the game ended with a cliffhanger. And we can all assume that Sly is basically stuck in ancient Egypt. And we never know when the story will continue. And when will Sly 5 arrive? When will the story continue? Is the series gonna end like this? But anyways, let's not get into that, alright? Now, why am I assuming that Sly's in ancient Egypt? It's simple. Sly Cooper 4 was originally supposed to have a level in ancient Egypt, where Sly would meet Slytunkhamen 1. Now due to the PS Vita size limit, Sanzaru had to completely take it out. That's pretty much it. If we had that episode, what could we have expected? Could we have expected something crazy, maybe like a plot twist or something like that? Who knows? So this video is basically about stuff that could have happened, let's say, but at the end of the day, maybe the story could have been simple, Sly meeting Slytunkhamen, just like how we met the other ancestors. But since the paradox is out of the equation, who knows what the story of Sly 5 might have in store for us, if it happens of course. Look, originally we were supposed to have ancient Egypt, right? And we were supposed to have the paradox, but since he's out of the equation, that means Sanzaru Games has to come up with a different plot when it comes to Slytunkhamen. Okay, maybe Sanzaru Games might decide to take Paradox out of prison, and Paradox might simply continue what he started, stealing the canes and stuff. But let's talk about something else. Paradox is out, and what kind of story could we expect if Sly actually meets Slytunkhamen? Alright, let's first start off with Slytunkhamen's picture. Notice the canes. And think for 2 seconds, don't his canes look very similar to Sly's cane? Okay, yeah, and? Well, what if his canes were inspired by Sly's cane? Cause you know, since Sly meets Slytunkhamen in ancient Egypt, what if Slytunkhamen was impressed? What if Slytunkhamen actually never had a cane? He sees Sly's cane and is impressed. And by being impressed, he decides to come up with his own. And his canes, in the end, look exactly like Sly's cane. Except, Slytunkhamen holds 2 canes. Okay, wait a minute. How does Bob Cooper fit into this equation? Bob Cooper actually has a cane. And in the end, we can all say that Bob actually started the whole cane thing. And between the Ice Age, Bob Cooper's time, and between Slytunkhamen 1's time, there's a huge gap. And between that gap, we had probably other Coopers. But those Coopers didn't have the chance to write in the Thievius Raccoonus. Think about it, they didn't have paper back then, they didn't have pens, they didn't have anything to write with. So it kind of makes sense as to why they didn't write stuff down. They simply couldn't do it. So to make things simple, Bob Cooper is the one who created the cane. He's the first one who came up with such an idea. So that's why I'm going to say that Slytunkhamen's canes were inspired by Sly's cane. The canes weren't created because of Sly time traveling back to ancient Egypt. Well, technically he didn't time travel, he ended up in ancient Egypt, so you kind of understand what I'm saying. However, if Sanzaru never added in Bob Cooper, then Sly being the one who actually showed a cane to Slytunkhamen might be possible. But since we have Bob in the equation, I'm gonna guess that Bob actually started the whole cane thing, so there you have it. To put things simple, Slytunkhamen's canes were inspired by Sly's cane. That's pretty much it. But then again, this is simply something I thought of. Maybe I might be completely wrong. But it's a theory video we're talking about, right? Let's make it fun, let's come up with ideas. Alright, since Sly is in ancient Egypt, what if Sly is actually the one who taught Slytunkhamen how to turn invisible? Sly Cooper read the whole book, so he's pretty much skilled right now. I know it sounds crazy, but it's time travel we're talking about. Time travel can be pretty crazy. It can get annoying at times, but it's pretty interesting at the same time, right? Okay, what about the other abilities? Did Sly teach him other techniques? Who knows, maybe he did. Slytunkhamen probably found the invisibility skill pretty interesting, and because of that, he decided to record it in the Thievius Raccoonus. Plus, we're talking about a thief here. I'm pretty sure Sly probably taught him a bunch of stuff. like how to come up with plans, how to sneak in, how to sneak behind enemies and stuff like that. Okay, in the end, maybe Slytunkhamen is the one who actually came up with invisibility, but maybe Sly taught him a few things, who knows? He was in ancient Egypt, he's pretty skilled, why not show him a few moves? That's what I'm trying to say. Here's another crazy idea I came up with. What if Slytunkhamen was unaware of the Thievius Raccoonus being a thing? What if the Thievius Raccoonus never existed until Sly met his ancestor? That sounds pretty crazy, right? Okay, so what you're saying is, Sly is the one who created the Thievius Raccoonus in the first place? Okay, whoa, I'm not saying that exactly. Think about it. Sly ended up in ancient Egypt with nothing on him except his cane. If he's the one who created the Thievius Raccoonus, how could it be possible he didn't have any paper on him? Or maybe he did, but we're not too sure. To make it simple, Sly probably gave Slytunkhamen the idea to write down his skills on paper. Okay, wait, we're talking about ancient Egypt. How can paper exist? Here's the thing, back in ancient Egypt, people used to write on papyrus plant. What is papyrus? Papyrus is a leaf-looking plant. By letting it rot, one would stack all of them next to each other, and you put some on top, and at a point, you compress, and you get a paper-looking material. So maybe Sly gave Slytunkhamen the idea to simply write stuff down on papyrus. Sly starting the book? I don't know, where did he get all the material? Maybe Sly wrote for Slytunkhamen, but if you look at all the pages of the Thievius Raccoonus, the writings look all the same. So if Sly wrote for Slytunkhamen, then does this mean that Sly actually wrote the whole book? No. Sly wasn't born in ancient times. How could he be the one to write down in the Thievius Raccoonus unless he time traveled back to his ancestors' times? And with that being done, he wrote down in the book. But I don't see that happening at all. He already visited some of his ancestors in Sly 4. So out of all this, I think that Sly might be the one who encouraged the creation of the Thievius Raccoonus. Plus, Sly didn't have the Thievius Raccoonus on him when he ended up in ancient Egypt, so there's that. I can't seem to wrap my head around something. The Thievius Raccoonus looks pretty modern, right, for ancient Egypt? Something tells me that, at a point, a Cooper collected all of the pages written by each ancestor. What he did is the following. He took all the pages, put them together, and he created a book. He basically updated the whole thing. He somehow was able to copy everything that was written on papyrus or any material on actual paper. And this could explain why the writings all look the same. Someone from the Cooper family collected all of the data and put them in a book on actual paper. Plus, the book looks kind of old, right? So I'm gonna guess that one of the Coopers put the book together, but we don't know which Cooper did that. And if we think about it, paper was invented in China in 100 BC, according to articles online. I'm going to assume that a Cooper after 100 BC put the Thievius Raccoonus together. It's as simple as that. Plus, the pages look white, so a Cooper put the book together way after 100 BC. And if I'm not mistaken, white paper was created around 1400? Something like that? Maybe a Cooper around that time put the whole Thievius Raccoonus together. He or she found a way to copy everything and put it on white paper. I know I'm going into too much detail right now, but it's cool. I don't know, it's fun. Okay? Now, ever wondered why there was a picture of Slytunkhamen? There weren't any cameras back in ancient Egypt. How could there be a picture of Slytunkhamen? Maybe it was a mistake by Sucker Punch, who knows, but still, who would take a picture in ancient Egypt? All we know is Sly is from the future, he ended up in ancient Egypt, and we have the blimp. What if, inside the blimp, there was a camera? Sly used that camera to take a picture of Slytunkhamen. Slytunkhamen kept that picture, and with time, that triggered a chain reaction where all the Coopers took pictures of themselves. Okay, wait. The camera was first invented in 1685. How could the Coopers take pictures of themselves before that year? Okay, the most logical explanation might be someone time traveling. What else can we come up with? Someone time traveled, took pictures of the Coopers, and somehow found a way to put them inside the book. Let's assume Sly Cooper 5 would have Sly visiting all his ancestors. He visits them, realizes that they don't have cameras. So with that in mind, Sly Cooper decides to take pictures of them, and that's pretty much it. So basically, in the end, Sly Cooper is the one who took those pictures. Don't we just love time travel? It's awesome, right? Sly Thieves in Time had ancestors, right? But there's a lot more, and maybe Sanzaru might decide to add a lot more ancestors in Sly 5, if that game ever happens. Alright, we don't even know what's going on with that game anymore. Will Sucker Punch make it? Will Sanzaru make it? No one knows. Here's another fun thing I want to go over. What if Slytunkhamen's name was originally Tunkhamen? Since Slytunkhamen was impressed by Sly's skills and everything, he decided to add Sly in the beginning of his name. What do you think? I mean, come on, Slytunkhamen? Maybe Slytunkhamen was an actual name. Pretty simple, right? And with that, Sly's parents named him Sly. His name being inspired by Slytunkhamen. Nothing much to it. One huge final thing I'd like to go over, guys. It might sound crazy, alright? I thought about this in the beginning, but then I was like, no, it's way too crazy, it's way too big of a theory, especially for a Sly Cooper game. But, eventually, people in the comment section kept asking me, dude, what if Sly is actually Slytunkhamen? Plot twist. If Sly is Slytunkhamen, this means he ended up in ancient Egypt and realized that the Thievius Raccoonus never existed. Not only that, he realized that Slytunkhamen doesn't even exist. Crazy, right? Not only does this sound crazy, but it's just sad. This basically means that Bentley, Murray, and Carmelita lost life forever. And it's way too much of a plot twist. It's way too complicated. Okay, maybe a few of you might think, oh look, Slytunkhamen's canes look very similar to Sly's. What if Slytunkhamen is Sly? What if those canes are Sly's canes but split in two? But the thing is, Sly's cane is only one piece. How did he come up with another piece? And you know what's even more crazy about this, guys? If we look at Slytunkhamen's picture, doesn't he look like Sly in Egyptian clothes? Is it just me? Am I the only one who thinks that Sly looks like Slytunkhamen? It's a pretty crazy theory, no doubt about that. But at the same time, it's pretty sad. We have Sly ending up in ancient Egypt, basically being his destiny, and by ending up in that location, he's the one who started the whole legacy thing. And if he truly is Slytunkhamen, what if he decided not to follow his legacy? What if he decided to go back to the future? And if he did go to the future, what if he realizes that the future is corrupt? He was supposed to be Slytunkhamen, right? He realizes that the book doesn't even exist anymore, or that the Cooper legacy wasn't an actual thing anymore. Anything you do in the past can drastically affect the future. So that's why Slytunkhamen being Sly, I don't know, it sounds too crazy of a theory. The one I would believe the most is Sly teaching some skills to Slytunkhamen. It sounds easier to comprehend in the end. So yep, what else am I gonna say, guys? This is it for this video. Now tell me what you think. Do you think Sly encouraged the creation of the Thievius Raccoonus? Do you think he taught some techniques to Slytunkhamen? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Maybe he would simply visit Slytunkhamen and do pretty much nothing to affect the Thievius Raccoonus, I guess. So yeah, tell me what you think. And as usual, thanks for watching. And I thank you guys so much for 3,000 subscribers. That's pretty crazy. You're awesome. And as usual, I've been Vivi and I'll catch all of you next time. Thanks for watching.